came across a drifting ship. I took a look inside. I found a note that someone wrote that said, take her for a ride. I set a course for sights unseen, went out to open sea. To my surprise, a bunch of sailors joined along with me. Now we're sailing on the mystery ship, and all the sailors here are really hip. There isn't any cost of membership. All you gotta do is join our trip. Yeah, I'm the captain of the mystery ship, and I'm a-calling all aboard this ship. I'm really hoping that you'll enjoy it up on the mystery ship. So bring a friend and come along with us aboard the mystery ship. Yes, indeed. We are here once again, people. Once again, we find ourselves on a Sunday night cruise upon the mystery ship. How are you doing out there? How is everything in your world? I trust you had a good weekend. I really hope that you did. Mine was short and sweet. And when I say short, wow, I swear that it was 48 hours, but it sure didn't feel like it. I feel like it's Friday and I just got off of work and I'm looking forward to 2 days off. That's really how I feel. Crazy, crazy. Weather in the Pacific Northwest, where I live here in Oregon, there's an old expression. If you don't like the weather in Oregon, just wait 5 minutes. And we got every bit of that this weekend. Seriously, 1 minute it is a beautiful sunny day, and then a minute and a half later it is pouring down rain like you've never seen. We had all of that. I did have a absolutely wonderful Saturday show doing triple shots of the best classic rock ever laid to vinyl. If you have not had a opportunity, come join us. Where have you been, people? Where have you been? I really want to thank all of the people who joined in and played along. It was so much fun. I had a gas. It takes, I think, skipping a week, which I did the week prior. I just had some important stuff I had to take care of around here, and that was the only day I could give up. It was the day of my show. So, but it takes skipping a week to make you really realize just how much you enjoy something or I mean, I love doing that show. I freaking love doing that show. The people made me laugh. I mean, the chats are great. The suggestions, hey Zoe, how about Three by the Eagles? It was just wonderful. Holy smokes! I look up and there right in front of my face is a freaking Ninja Genie from my dear. I knew who it was. Like I needed to look. Gloria, thank you kindly for your extraordinary support of the show. You are just an amazing friend. Thank you so much for everything you do. Yes, John, I was on yesterday I did a 5-hour stint. The great thing about it is you can go back and rewatch it. It's forever over on Pilled Foxhole. Forever. It's always going to be there. On DLive, it lasts for 3 days. 3 days, and then it's gone.
into the ether. Gone forever. You know, I reached out to D Live, trying to get them to help me with the fact that for whatever reason, I haven't been able to change the name of my program now for over a year. It's driving me nuts. It's literally driving me nuts. So I just put it in the chat before we start. Yep. Sheeple says, we had a clap of thunder this morning that woke us both out of a sound sleep. You and the other sheep woke right up? That must have been something. Have you ever seen fainting goats? Has anyone ever seen fainting goats? A rancher, this is 20 years ago, when I first moved to 33 years ago when I first moved to Oregon, but about 20 years ago, this guy had a whole field full of fainting goats. And I was driving, I borrowed one of my boss's trucks to bring home, and the thing would backfire like there's no, I mean, just kapow. And I drove past the field and backfired. I didn't know what fainting goats were. And when the truck backfired, all of these goats just literally flop over, some of them literally with their feet straight up in the air. If you've never seen it, it really is something to see. It really is something to see. It's crazy. What's going on over here in Pilled Foxhole? Val Hall, have you decided on a name yet? What did you get a new animal or so? Oh, she did. Wait, Val, what have we done? What have we done? Sister just arrived with a puppy and her dogs. It's a little crazy. Is it your puppy? Your new puppy? Well, Spazman, I was watching you late last night, buddy. Well, I was watching your show late last night. You were making fun of some old movie. Let me just get a quick peek around the horn. Make sure I'm live everywhere I'm supposed to be. Okay, I am freaking live at Rumble. What a refreshing difference that is. And of course, I've got hiccups because I literally just finished my dinner. I'm sitting at the dinner table, cutting up my last little piece of meat, and I better check the time. I'm like, oh my God, 5:59. Honey, I gotta go. Throw a piece of plastic over this. I'll finish it when I get in the house. There are 5 rumblers hanging out over there. Whoever you are, I freaking love you. Thank you for being there. I very much appreciate a presence over at Rumble. You guys rock. That is a free speech platform, people. They're not screwing with you over there. Do we have anyone over at the Tube? We do. Well, you got me. I dropped in. No, it says there's 3 watching. Very good. Whoever you lurkers are over there at YouTube, I'm with you. I really am. We got 27 viewers right now over at D Live. Some of our favorite sailors are hanging out there tonight. Jayla17 in the house. Spudley in the house. Emily is here. Steph Artist61 is in for the cruise. Gloria Paddock is with us. Good to see you as always, my friend. Lynn Winters in the house. Well, Grand Axel is with us. Zanimal. Zanimal. Good to see you. Sheeple. Sheeple beware. One of the funniest sailors we have. He has a volume is POW. What is that? Too loud? Pow. Volume is a piece of work. Piece of something. Oh man. Okay. So anyway. Who else we got? John Rogers, my dear brother. Good to see you. Good to see you. It's under, John says, where do you find it? It's under repeats. You have to go to replays. That's it, replays. And it only lasts like I said, for a very, very short period of time. I mentioned Emily. Mad Pogue is also over there. Good to see you. Bad Zoot is in the house in her Zoot suit. Nice to see you all. Nice to see all of you. Jayla and Zazanimal dropping some lemon love my way. Thank you so very much, you guys. You are freaking awesome. Awesome. POW is low. Okay, low. Oh, that's something I might have done. Volume is low. Well, you have me paranoid. You have me paranoid, Spud. I'm trying to keep it within reason. Within reason. Well, well. All right, so we are live over at D Live with a bunch of sailors there. Great thing. It would appear that I am currently live at, my buddy Matty F&B. Zoso's on. What a relaxing way to end the weekend. I wish women would faint like those goats, right in the middle of them, bitching at you so you could just yell bah! Real loud and the argument's over. My buddy Matt, back in just outside of Philly, he's got a different take on the world, and frankly, I rather enjoy it. Fainting goats, fainting women, like fainting goats. You know, they did have fainting couches back at the was it the 1800s, turn of the last century. Anyway, so one last peek over here at where is it? We're up to 9 at Rumble. Whoever you Rumblers are, I'm telling you, you are the next generation. Thank you for being there. Thanks for coming along for a ride. All right, we are going to, of course, Pilled Foxhole, the home of free speech in America. That's where you can literally say anything you want to say, and no one can take it away from you. I mean that. It is, it's like the Wild Wild West. I equate Pilled Foxhole to, the Wild Wild West. When people went looking for gold, well, that's where you're going to find it. You're going to find it over at Pilled Foxhole. Not only, once you sign up at pilled.net, not only is it free, it doesn't cost you a thing, there's no credit card, there's nothing like that. You just go and enjoy. Right now, there is probably, holy smokes, right now there's like 50 shows on the air right now. At least 40, okay? There's at least 40 shows on the air right now. I'm one of them. And once you're signed up at pilled.net, you can then wander over to thefoxhole.app. And at thefoxhole.app, you not only can get in with some of the coolest sailors around, but stickers, you can make your own. And you can make your own sticker in 4 seconds. You can do a screenshot capture. You can just call up a picture on your phone. You can do it right on your phone. You can create stickers on your phone, and in 25 seconds, your sticker is in the chat. I have been trying to get a sticker up at DLive for about 3 years now. I just don't know if it will ever happen. I have written them. They haven't been writing me back. I don't know. Maybe I've overstayed my welcome. I don't know. Dandy002, good to see you, my man. Dan the man, good to have you aboard. All right, let's see who else is hanging out at Pilled Foxhole. LT57FSH, good to see you in the house. My rock and roll riding brother got himself just a beautiful, beautiful bike, a blue version of mine with a few more bells and whistles. I wish I had them. Jolene is with us. Good to see you, kiddo. Hope you're doing well. Prairie Fire in the house, ringing the bell. He is ringing the bell with a sticker. Girl Patriot, how you doing, little lady? How's everything down in San Antone? Wearing her casual weekend attire. Looks a lot like a birthday suit. Just kidding. Just kidding. Val Hall is with us. Great to see you. Willie Fix It in the house. What's going down, Willie boy? Hope everything peeking out from around the rock. Willie is one in a million right there. Thumper Rose in the house. Thumper, it's been a minute. I hope you're doing great, my friend. Wonderful to look up and see your smiling face. PWG, Prayer Warrior Girl in the house. Cannot believe it's another informative mystery ship. So great to see you all. Much, much love. We love having you here, Prayer Warrior Girl. PWG. Yes, Spazzo Yeti. He says he's here for the prayers. I'm glad. I'm glad. Dude, I was trying to figure out what movie you were making fun of last night, Spazzo. I mean, it was late. It was late. And the only thing I got out of it is you said, I've never seen this movie before, but it didn't stop you from making fun of it. You had me laughing. You had me laughing. Yes. Who else we got hanging out? Who else is hanging out on the mystery ship? Bong Hit is with us, bringing some love. Thank you kindly for the gold pill love there. Crazy Chuck with a K in the house. Chuck, how you doing, man? Good to see you. Great to have you with us. Sammy Lou. Now, it's been a minute. Lurker Lives Matter. I'm really, really glad to look up and see your smiling face. Hope you and hubby and everybody is doing very well back. You're back east somewhere. I can't remember if it's like somewhere around Tennessee, Carolinas. I know you're in that hood. I want to stop by and see you guys when I'm on my next cross-country trip. I did send you a shirt, didn't I? I thought that I did. Anyway, let's see. Getting down to the nitty-gritty. Almost to the bottom. Kristen Hudson. What is happening? Great to see you. Well, is something going on with Spaz that I am unaware of? Because inquiring minds want to know. Henry 4570, good to have you aboard, my man. Another motorcycle riding maniac right there. Two rivers in the house. Two rivers, that reminds me of Two Towns. Have you guys tried that Two Towns cider? Man, oh man, oh man. That stuff will throw you for a loop. It's like 3 times the alcohol content that beer does. Ghost Pepper in the house with a beautiful sticker. Wow. I don't know that I have that one. Where did that come from? Amethyst Cat made it. Wow. That is a bad ass. Wait, can I pull it? Man. That's the one thing I don't like is you can't grab that little macro and slide it around. I would love to pull it over here and show everyone on air. Wait a minute. Of course I can. You dummy. You dummy. All right. I want you to see the sticker that Amethyst Cat created. You know, I just told you a minute ago, you can create stickers at Pilled Foxhole. Look at this one. Amethyst Cat made this. Is that not the coolest freaking sticker ever? Holy criminy. Miss Kitty, you are up there. You are up there with, man, that is freaking awesome. Thank you, my dear. That is a new acquirement. I think I'm supposed to say I yoinked it. Is that the proper terminology? I yoinked it. I'm so 1970s. Yes. 17 Patriot 76. Great to see you. Glad you're here. All right. I think I'm down to the Tinka. Tinky Winky, what are you doing, girl? Good to see you. Great to have you aboard. Yes, I've caught up right to the minute. There's Amethyst Cat hanging out. She's lurking, but thank you, AC. That was seriously a badass sticker. A badass sticker. All right, let me see if I can reduce this. What do I do to reduce this? There we go. I minimize that, and she's hidden for the moment. And then I can go here, and I can go here, and stop that. All right. So tonight on the mystery ship, your brother Zoe is again heading to uncharted waters. You know, it's kind of mysterious. Over the years, especially, I mean, me being one of the elder statesmen around, it's safe to say I know I'm in good company. I know there's a bunch of people very close to my age coming up. Heck, it's a week from next Wednesday. A week from next Wednesday will be my birthday. I will be streaming on my birthday because it falls on a Wednesday, April 3rd. Frank Valburo, quite frankly, his birthday's April 2nd. Mine's April 3rd. We have birthdays together. Anyway, because I'm turning 65, I don't get to retire. No, that was all just a myth. All just a myth. Retire at 65. Yeah, right. No, I've seen a lot in my short lifespan. I mean, I came from when to have a hot dog, you had to cook it on the skillet, you know, on your mom's range in the kitchen. That was done away with by the microwave. I always, I mean, I picked that just because it's such a time saver. It has changed people's lives. The communicators from Star Trek, you know, it seemed so ridiculously futuristic at the time that Star Trek was out in the mid 60s. We freaking have that stuff now. It's funny, well, the bottom line is what we are looking at today, what we're looking at tonight is predictions. Predictions that were shown in, it could have been newspapers, it could have been radio, it could have been television, it might have been movies. But we're going to look at predictions that actually came true after it was put out by the media some 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, and in some cases 70 years ago. Okay? We're going to be looking at a whole bunch of stuff. It seems crazy, but so many of these things have come true that it's nuts. It's literally nuts. We will be back immediately following this next video. I invite you to sit back, relax, get yourself an adult beverage or whatever it is you're drinking. I don't care. The only thing I don't want you drinking is White Zin, okay? Or White Claw. As long as you're not drinking White Zin or White Claw, you're a sailor. Arr. We'll see you on the other side of this video when Zoe looks at television and movie predictions that really happened. Are you ready, folks? Are you ready? Welcome aboard the mystery ship.
Why do we sail upon the mystery ship? 'Cause we never know where we'll go next.
It's always around this time that I like to take a second. I like to take a second and thank the wonderful people who support this program in whatever way you see fit, people. Whether it is dropping some gold pills in my lap or making lemonade over there on D Live. You guys are wonderful. The surprises I get, as I've mentioned many times in my Cash App and my PayPal, you guys, seriously, you save my bacon, particularly when I'm going cross country. That's when it really counts the most. But the truth is, and I'll say this each and every time, the best way that you can help this teeny tiny little program is simply to tell a friend. Let somebody else know out there that there's this dude and you should watch his show. You never know what he's going to talk about. Most of the time it's fairly interesting. He's got funny callers, great people in their chats. I love hanging out with you guys. I literally love hanging out with each and every one of you. Look at that. Willie and John Rogers and Dandy, they're just dropping Jayla, Lynn, they're dropping ice creams and cookies and, oh man, lemons. Thank you guys. Thanks so very, very much. Over here at Pilled Foxhole, much the same. Bong Hit, Girl Patriot, Prayer Warrior Girl, just gifted a bronze tier subscription to Kristen Hudson. Congratulations, darling. You are now a bona fide rock star. That is wonderful. That is awesome. Thank you kindly, PWG, and congratulations, Kristen Hudson. You guys are cool. You guys are the best. So I know that I am a little bit older than some, but seriously, I think you guys know. If I put this on the screen, I think you're going to recognize it. Okay, this is a comic. This is a comic from, like, yeah, there it is, Chester Gould. He wrote the Dick Tracy comic in the newspapers from 1931 to 1977. Dick Tracy. And look what he has. A two-way wrist TV. That was pretty savvy stuff for that was pretty savvy stuff for the 40s. Okay? He could communicate with headquarters and son of a bitch. Well, it took let's see. Let's say it was 1940. That would have been 60, 70, 80, 84 years ago. 84 years ago, Dick Tracy predicted the ever-loving Google Watch, or the Fitbit, or whatever the hell you call it. But it's funny. I recently got myself another set of my Make America Great boots, the red, white, and blue boots that I get, and included free was a smartwatch. Now, it wasn't some kind of high dollar smartwatch. It was an $8.99 smartwatch. Okay, but it did work. I mean, it literally did work. The volume is so ridiculously low that a deaf guy like me can't hear it. But if I gave it to my grandson, he'd probably be able to make it work. And what's amazing about it is, from it, I can simply touch the screen and speak and send a text. That is just, it's just mind-blowing to me that this technology is out there for under $10. Now, the watch is a piece of crap. It doesn't hold its battery power is garbage. It's dead by noon. But it does have a surprising amount of interesting features on it. It actually does tell time. It's got a compass on it. It's got text, and I can read emails, and I can answer the phone. I can see who's calling me, see who's texting me at a glance on your wrist. Just like, well, kind of like Dick Tracy back in the day. So that kind of got me thinking about what other kind of predictions, what other kind of predictions out there were talked about in radio and TV. I mean, obviously, at some point I have to touch on The Simpsons. That's just a given. But there are so many, many, many other examples of things that were put out by movies and stuff back in the day. For instance, in 1968, the film 2001: A Space Odyssey. Let me tell you something. I saw that in Hollywood for my birthday. In 1970, I brought, I think, 7 friends. It was my birthday party. We went to Hollywood to the Cinerama Dome, which back in those days, the screen literally wrapped all around you. It used to be a really unique and futuristic way to go see a film. It literally wrapped around you. It was crazy for its time. I mean, as compared to today, it's nothing. But in its day, the Cinerama Dome was world renowned. There were postcards of it, you know. So I saw 2001: A Space Odyssey there, and the idea of colonizing space, and like today, Richard Branson has a company where what is it, Virgin something, where you can go up into the lower limits of space and look at the world. I mean, be a voyeur. The idea of the International Space Station was put forth in A Space Odyssey. That's 1968. That's it's crazy to think that in just my short little lifetime, some of these things that just seemed absolutely absurd have come to pass. Boy, oh boy, you got to forgive me here. I'm sorry. Holy smokes, dinner's coming back for a second helping. Wow. Crazy. Crazy. Pardon me. Excuse me. Pardon me. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Zizanimal says, watch the film from 1995, Strange Days. Is that on my list? 1995, Strange Days? No. No, that. I'm gonna have to look into that. Let me make a note. Let me make a note. Strange Days. I mean, of course, when I hear Strange Days, I immediately think of The Doors. So But there was a movie in 1985 called Weird Science. Anybody remember that? I mean, it's a highly forgettable movie. I mean, and wasn't there a song that also went along? Weird Science? Or, I don't know. But in the movie Weird Science, 1985, they predicted 3D printing from a computer. So that's a pretty good one, because I mean, back then, okay, the printing was, is Cosmic Grandpa here? He could speak about this. I mean, the printing was so minimal back then. I mean, the television screens, first of all, it was just the ones I remember, the IBM computers of the mid 80s had either white or green lettering on it, and the screen was, I mean, there was a tube in it. Your screen was like this deep, and the printing was just black and white. I mean, it was minimalist. Seriously, minimalist. Crazy. And now 3D printing is a thing. I'll be dead straight with you. The project that I'm working on right now, is called Maker City, and it is basically a school. Now, when I was a lad, of course, they didn't have it in any of the private schools that I went to, but once I got into public school in high school, the electives to go work to take shop classes, there was, let me tell you, we had auto shop, we had metal shop, we had foundry, which is different than metal shop. Foundry was completely different. You boiled aluminum and you would make sand molds and pour things like ashtrays and just all kinds of cool stuff. Kids learned how to use their hands. Okay, there was wood shop and print shop. I took print shop. I thought it was fascinating. We made not only all that we printed all the report cards for the next 10 years, but we printed the school newspaper. I mean, that's using a platen press, setting all the type by hand. That's where the expression "mind your P's and Q's" comes from, you know, because they look the same, but they're backwards. The fact that there are no classes like that anymore, that's why this place exists, the one that I'm building. It's called Maker City, and it will be visited by a lot of youth. I mean, we're getting tours of young kids who are dying to get in there and get their hands on it. We are going to have a complete 3D laser printing setup there. Kids will be able to, you take something, I don't care, this harmonica, you put it on a table, they scan it, it scans in 3D, and then they program it, and then the laser printer comes out and freaking prints whatever the hell you want to print. It is amazing technology. That was hinted at in Weird Science in 1985. That was a pretty good wild guess. I would call that even a swag, which is a scientific wild-ass guess. Many of the things that we saw in Star Trek, okay, the TV show Star Trek, came to pass. Lasers, phasers, and, wow, cool stuff. Now, the Terminator. Now, I have to say, I was before I woke up and figured out, before I woke up and smelled the coffee, there were a few movies that really got me, and one of them, I'm almost embarrassed to say it now, but it happened, and what the hell, I am who I am. I'm not ashamed to say of my mistakes or whatever things I've done. It made me who I am today. In 1984, when The Terminator came out, I went 2 nights in a row to see that movie. I went by myself and saw it and was just blown away. I mean, it was, for its time, it was extremely futuristic. T.L. Spud will vouch for the incredible acting ability of Arnold Schwarzenegger, and I know he's one of T.L.'s favorites. I'm kidding, of course. But no, it was a good story, and there's a scene in the movie where the young guy, I don't know who he is, he gets zapped ahead in time to go save the girl, and of course he's sent in completely naked and ends up in some kind of department store, and it showed him reaching down and putting on a pair of tennis shoes. I wish I could remember the brand. I should be able to remember. They weren't Nikes. It was another famous brand of tennis shoe, but the Raiders that year had just moved to Los Angeles. So these shoes were, of course, silver and black, and I had to have them. I went down the next day and they had them in the store. I bought some, and I wore them. I wore them to go see the show the next night. I think I brought my sister. I think I brought my brother and my sister. I was so turned on by this movie. I'm horribly embarrassed to admit that now, but I was a sci-fi junkie. I love that shit. What can I say? Arnold. Yes. The movie Minority Report with Tom Cruise. For what its day, what the hell was that? What day, what year was that? Oh, damn it, I didn't write the date down. I didn't write the date down on Minority Report. Pretty interesting. It shows it shows Tom Cruise walking down like a hallway of, I don't know if it's a mall, a strip mall or whatever, but as he's walking down this hallway of crowded people, the glass windows of the stores on the left and the right of him are all programmed to send commercials directly to him, calling him out by name. Okay? Very much, I think it's I want to say it's maybe 95. When the hell was Minority Report? When did that come out? One of you guys knows. But seriously, targeted ads to an individual, the hologram, the glass screens where, they just touched stuff and slid it over and brought it up and then blew it up with their hands. All very normal and commonplace now. I mean, yeah, a little fancy high tech, but that shit's out there. Back in that day, that seemed like light years in the future. And now, targeted ads? I mean, when I open up my computer after my laptop after it's been turned off, it will hit me with ads targeted specifically for me. Need a hotel in Bend, Oregon tonight? It's insane. Folks, we are living these predictions from years ago. Dick Tracy and his watch. That's nothing. That's nothing. Can you imagine going back to 1931, right? Walking the streets of 1931, walking up to a paper boy and buying a newspaper from him and opening up the newspaper and saying to him, "Hey man, you see that two-way wrist TV that Dick Tracy's got? They're really going to have those in 75 years. You'll be able to buy those." Pretty crazy. I've got a clip here to show you. I hope this is, God, I hope I have the right one. I hope I have the right one. Please, everyone, cross your fingers that Zoe got the right clip here. Now, on Monday nights, when I was a kid, on Monday nights, my mom and dad were big fans of a show called Laugh-In. Everybody knew Rowan and Martin's Laugh-In. And they had the go-go dancers and the party. And Laugh-In was one of those shows where all the hip people wanted to be on Laugh-In. Okay, if you were on Laugh-In, man, you were somebody. It was like the hip place to be seen, shot in beautiful downtown Burbank. I mean, I lived a stone's throw from where they filmed a great deal of the outdoor. And so they had a segment on Laugh-In that was called News of the Future. News of the Future. Dan Rowan hosted it. And in it, they made predictions of stuff 30, 40 years in advance. And what is uncanny is that some of Laugh-In's predictions, made 100% in jest, freaking came true. Oh, please tell me I have the right clip. Please tell me I have the right clip. Come on, do it.
Columbia University, 1989, 20 years from now. Because of television, Americans have stopped reading completely. Therefore, the Pulitzer Prize for Poetry was awarded today to Muhammad Ali for a Wrigley's Spearmint Gum commercial. Kennedy Airport, 1989. Today, the new supersonic jet, fastest airplane in the world, broke the transcontinental speed record. when it arrived 5 minutes before it took off. Berlin, 20 years from now, 1989. There was dancing in the streets today as East Germany finally tore down the Berlin Wall. Joy was short-lived, however, as the wall was quickly replaced with a moat full of alligators.
And now we take you back.
Ruth Buzzy. Ruth Buzzy. But how about that? Predicting the fall of the Berlin Wall. They said it happened in 89. Was it, I think it was it 86? They weren't that far off. It might have been 87. What year did the Berlin Wall fall? 87? I'll be dipped in dog shit. You're not going to believe this. They predicted in that show, he predicted 1989, November 9th, 1989. Laugh-In hit it on the nose. They hit it on the nose as a joke. That is insane. I mean, that is seriously crazy. Wow. Wow. Ruth Buzzy. One ringy dingy. Al Flash. Yeah, I should do a show on Laugh-In. One of those late night infomercials had like the best of Laugh-In CDs or DVDs, and Mrs. Zoe and I bought them, and I mean, for the first, you watch the first 2-3 shows, and you're taken right back. You're taken right back, but 5 shows in, 5 episodes in, you've had about enough. But there are selective parts that are just phenomenal. So maybe one day I will do that. I just got a DVD player. Is that it? No. I have a DVD player. I just need to hook it into my computer so I can do stuff like that. But pretty cool stuff. Pretty cool stuff. Laugh-In, a comedic hour of television, predicts the falling of the Berlin Wall. Nuts. There was a movie in 1991 called Until the End of the World. Now, I don't quite remember this movie. Until the End of the World. Does that ring a bell with anybody? But in that movie, I just watched a small video clip of it. They predicted flat screen TVs. And, for whatever, who cares? I mean, I'm surrounded by 4 flat screens right here. But, man, when I first saw a flat screen TV, I really thought that was unusual. I mean, I thought that was. Now we're getting somewhere. Now we're figuring it out, folks. Now we are freaking getting somewhere with these flat TVs. Wow. I don't even remember. Now, this was another one of Arnold's movies. Total Recall, a very futuristic plot where he's a construction worker, and he goes into dream. He doesn't have time to take off of work, so he goes to this service where they just insert a dream in your mind, and you feel like you've gone to Tahiti for 2 weeks, and when you wake up 20 minutes later, you're all refreshed and ready to go back to work, and you don't need to go on vacation. That was the premise of the movie, but of course it goes haywire in the film. But they had self-driving cars in that movie. Self-driving cars. That was 1991. All right? Self-driving cars are, I mean, I don't know anybody that necessarily has one that's completely autonomous right now, but I do know that they have successfully conquered the self-parking car, and I know that Elon is pushing for the self-driving car, but I know there have been a wave of accidents, so we're not quite there yet. Perhaps when they finally come through with that godforsaken Internet of Things, that will be more possible. But yeah, I'm not quite ready to just sit in a car and let it drive me. I mean, the idea is cool. The idea is definitely cool, but yeah, I know all the back roads. I know all the back roads. Crap. What was it I wanted to point out about that? Self-driving cars. There was some tangent I wanted to talk about regarding that. Oh, I mean, I watch a lot of stuff, and there's a gentleman who is pretty good at. He watches trends. Trends are his. That's this guy's life, and he's pretty right on. I mean, I'd give him the 95 percentile in being on the money with most of his predictions. This guy predicted that in 10 years from now, there will be no truck drivers, that all trucks will be driven by robots. It'll all be AI. There will not be a need for truck drivers. Now, I know my dear brother, the Texan, would about have a heart attack if I told him that. And I can tell, honestly, I can tell you this much. Not in my lifetime. Not in my lifetime, because I can tell you, on the job sites, backing a concrete truck into some of the horrific places we have to go to get concrete into the nether regions of jobs, you're not going to get a freaking robot to do that. Not happening. Absolutely not happening. And the 3D printed houses that they're building, which is all it really is cement that squishes out about 8 inches wide, and it just follows this track. And I mean, I've seen them completed, and they're still so the house gets 3D printed in concrete by this giant computer. It takes a human being to put it up. Humans have to guide I'm sorry. We are a long ways from their dream. Will probably come true one day, but I mean, it's not going to be in my lifetime, and I almost wonder if it'll be in my children's lifetime, where everything is automated. I just don't. I'm sorry, I don't believe in it. I don't believe in it. The movie Blade Runner with Harrison Ford, that was a pretty cool freaking film. That was a bitchin' movie. That predicted AI. For all intents and purposes, that film predicted AI. Pretty cool stuff. Damn it, what year was Blade Runner? I didn't write the freaking year. I was falling apart. Sorry. As it got closer and closer and closer to the show, I guess I got a little haphazard. Now, this one is freaky. I should call up a picture of this. I really should call up a picture of this. Yes, there is a movie from 2014. You guys all know it. Let me see. Can I visit? There we go. This was kind of a freaky movie. Okay? I'm going to put it up here. Let me put this up for you. And let me pull up a different while I'm after. This one is freaky. Okay? This one is freaky, folks. This one's a little freaky, if you ask me. There's a movie. There is a movie from 2014. I gotta move this over, and then I gotta move this over here because I want you to see both of these at the same time. Come on. Oh, come on. Zoe, you gotta figure out how to do this shit. Okay. I think I got it. Yeah, that's as close as I'm going to get. Get your shit together. All right. In 2014, there was a film, a rather unusual film. It was called Ex Machina. Ex Machina. It was a story about a robot named Ava. How many people saw Ex Machina? Put an X in the chat if you saw the movie Ex Machina. What freaks me out about this freaking movie, people, what freaks me out about this is the movie on the right. Oh, come on, Zoe, pull this down. I gotta pull this down. How can I do that? Just grab this, grab that, and pull it. Okay. All right. So here's the chick. This is the robot Ava in the movie Ex Machina. And this is Sophia. I mean, I don't know what you guys think, but to me, that is just a little bit too, that's just a little bit too fucking freaky for me, okay? And I don't try to go out of my way to throw the F word around, but I'm telling you, that is freaky. That's freaky to me. That is, wow. You never heard of the movie Ex Machina? Yeah, so I agree with you, Artist 61. Sophia is scary. There's just something, they can try to make her as pretty and do her makeup and pluck her eyebrows and all that, but she's just always going to be weird. I wish I had a slightly better picture of the robot from Ex Machina, but man, that's just a little bit too close to home right there. Seriously. Wow. How are we doing on time? We're good. We're holding our own. We're holding our own. This next movie was one that I found fascinating. I told you I'm a sci-fi kind of guy. I love sci-fi, and when this movie came out, I was working in Hollywood at the time. In fact, a dear friend of mine, a lady by the name of Lisa Gibbons, former Entertainment Tonight reporter and co-anchor on the weekend show, Lisa got a bit part in this movie as a futuristic news anchor. And when I went to go see RoboCop, it was, I mean, to me, the whole thing was tongue-in-cheek, all right? But it just kind of prepared you for the kind of stuff that could possibly come to pass one day in the future. And anyone who has seen, I'm sure I don't need to pull the video up. Boston Robotics. These guys are producing not only robots. There's this amazing robot named Atlas that can do backflips. This guy can. Oh man, they've got him shooting guns now. They can kick the crap out of him, and he gets right back up again. I mean, you can't screw this guy up. I mean, honestly, if there's $1 million business we got to start figuring out now. Us flesh and blood units, okay? We need to figure out now how to hack these freaking things so that when they do unleash these freaking things on us, we can shut them down in their tracks. That's going to be the future for us. We need, and the dogs, they've got robot dogs that are, well, first of all, what's so weird is that their knees are backwards. Their knees are backwards. They're not like ours. They go the other way. They're just the weirdest looking things. Boston Robotics, man, check them out. It is, that is just straight up freaking weird. Too weird for me. I mean, we know it's coming. That's, it's probably going to happen in our lifetimes that there could be robot cops. It seems, I mean, it's almost seems worrisome, but I can see it. I can see it as a possibility. Robot cops in my lifetime. They are making. So when I first saw Atlas, okay, Atlas the robot, this guy could barely walk up hills, okay? On flat surfaces, he was fine, but then they would take him outside, and this very bulky robot was having a difficult time traversing mountainsides. Well, they've done an extraordinary job with the gyroscopes inside this guy, because now this robot can scale walls, he can jump on trampolines, he can do standing back. Atlas has come a long way, people, a long way. How soon? How soon until there's real life RoboCops? I mean, you and I have seen all of the we've seen all of the yellow vests over in Europe and in France and in Italy and all over where people are protesting. But I mean, can you imagine if like the city of Los Angeles was to turn loose a couple hundred robot cops on a crowd? Because if people were to get hurt, well, it wasn't a human being that hurt them, was it? I don't know. It's freaky. It's freaky. I'm not doing this show to freak us out. I'm just doing this show to admit to one another, folks, there's some interesting stuff on the horizon. There really is. We are going to take a very short break here, and then we're going to come back and look at, we're going to look at, yes, you guessed it. We're going to look it wouldn't be fair. It wouldn't be fair if we didn't look at The Simpsons now, right? Seriously, you knew it was coming. Ray Charles could have seen it coming. We'll be back right after this. Get yourself a refreshing drink. Here's your chance. Here's your chance. Do it. We'll be right back. I love these people. I love them all. I look forward. I look forward to this summer and another trip around the country to meet up with all my sailors. It's truly, it's truly one of the greatest things that I get to do is actually come around and meet you guys. When the time gets closer and I have a date nailed down, I'm doing it. I'm doing it. I can predict. I think it's going to be July, right? I think I'm going to try to shove off in July. It may be July into August, but it's going to be July. So I'm going to stay away from the heat this time, though. That much I freaking know, man. I'm staying away from the heat. All right. So I'm sure it isn't a surprise to any one of you that we would be remiss to not discuss The Simpsons because of all of the freaking shows, movies, TV. I mean, there's all kinds of shows that have, futuristic, orientations that have correctly shown us things that have actually come to pass. It's not really that big of a grasp, but nowhere in history has a show more accurately predicted things that really did come to pass than The Simpsons. It's almost hard to explain. And what I find even more unusual, I'm sure that, whoa, pardon me, pardon my hairy legs. What the hell's going on around here? the lights came tumbling down in my soundstage. Wow, that's freaking weird. I couldn't have predicted. The Simpsons didn't predict that. But really, you'd be hard pressed to explain how The Simpsons pulled this shit off. Now, Spud, you probably remember. You are a former California guy, a SoCal guy. Back in the 80s, when I was in my 20s, The Simpsons was just a tiny little comic strip of like 4 or 5 panels in a free magazine called the LA Weekly. It was absolutely free. And in the LA Weekly, it had all of the, where to go see bands and who was in the ballet and who's playing at the Dorothy Chandler Pavilion this weekend. It was like the calendar section of the Los Angeles Times, but it was called the LA Weekly. And there was more than that in there. There was, you could find bands looking for bass players, and it's just typical urban place to get together. The Simpsons was just this tiny little strip in this freaking giveaway paper. A giveaway paper. It was free. You didn't even have to buy it. How Matt Groening turned that enterprise into a billion-dollar adventure. I'm sure he's sitting pretty right now. I'm sure that guy is probably next door neighbors with Zuckerberg and Oprah for all I know. But it is a little bit bizarre. First of all, I'll tell you this. If you were to Google right now, if you were to go to Google and type in Simpsons predictions that came true, you would be blown away at how many different articles you could find. There's like 100 of them. I actually had to read through a whole bunch just to pick one that we could kind of screw around with for a little bit, because I do want to get your calls. I really do want to get your calls. I'm sure I missed some movies. I'm sure I missed some TV shows. I know you guys know your stuff, and I'm dying to know what you think. But let's just take a quick peek at a few of these Simpson things that actually did come true. So this is called The Shard. Back in 1995, you see this building right here? This is a building that really exists. It's called The Shard. But at the time that this episode aired, this building had not been built yet. Okay? Pretty crazy shit. Pretty crazy stuff. The Ebola virus. Okay? Let's see. This aired in 1997. The Ebola virus came around in 2000 and then 2014. Robots as librarians. They talked about it in 95. And robots really are librarians in some. I watched a video the other day of I think it's England. I think it is Great Britain. You walk up, you type in this thing, and this little, it's like a Roomba. This little guy disappears and then comes back and brings you your book. Me. It's crazy. Freaking crazy. Oh, let's skip ahead to some of the good stuff. Let's see. Whacking. No, let's get to the good one. Oh, this one. A letter from the Beatles. So this really did happen. This really did happen. So it wasn't Ringo. It was Paul McCartney. But so they predicted it in 1991, and I think it was 2005. Paul McCartney was contacted by some place, and they had a whole bunch of fan mail, and these two fans had written Paul and sent him a tape, not a cassette tape, of those little mini reel-to-reels. They sang him a song that they thought, so whoever found it, they got in contact with Paul McCartney, and they actually found these two people and got McCartney to respond to it some 45 years later. And he did. But again, The Simpsons predicted that Ringo Starr, who notoriously got more fan mail than the other three Beatles, they predicted that Ringo would answer some old stuff. Now, I don't know anything about Game of Thrones. I've never seen it. I don't even know what the story is about. So I'm glancing over that one. I'm a dinosaur. I just don't care. I don't care. Look at this. This is a futuristic. This is 1994, and they're talking about. I guess this is supposed to imitate like a notebook or something, maybe a texts that you get today. Let's see. Planning to block the sun. Yes, and then so this is 1995. Well, Val Hall, I'm sure, is going to be up in arms right now because I first noticed chemtrails in 1998. That's the first time I looked up and I said, I thought there was something wrong with the plane. I thought the plane was crashing. That's what I thought. Because I remember being a kid, laying down on my fresh mowed lawn with my dad. This was in the 1960s. And my dad and I were laying on the fresh cut grass together side by side. I think I was 8, 9. And a jet was going by. And there was a little teeny tiny contrail behind it. And my dad, of course, had, I can't remember how many degrees, but he did have a degree in aeronautical engineering. He came out of the Air Force, and he really contemplated going to work for one of the big ones like, Lockheed or Boeing. I'm so glad he didn't. I'm so glad he didn't. But my dad explained to me how contrails work, how the ice particles melt, and what you're seeing is, So in 1998, when I looked up for the first time and I started seeing these lines going all the way across, I was like, God, I wish my dad was here to see that. I wish he could explain this to me because it doesn't make sense. And I'm sure my dad would have been the first guy to tell me, Albert, there's something going on up there. I don't know what it is. But so in this Simpsons episode, To Block the Sun, 1995, Soros. Let's see. In real life, George Soros suggesting using a cloud cover as a sort of shield over melting Arctic ice in an effort to reduce global warming. Oh, man, let me tell you something. This morning. One of the things I have to do in my life, is check the weather. I mean, it's just such a huge part of my daily, everything on my job depends on it. So I have the weather on my phone, and it's the Weather Channel. Now, there's a couple of things that really piss me off about the Weather Channel, okay? One of them is, you see this little person? You see that little person right there? This is a guy, you can tell he's got a phone in his hand. He's got his headphones on. You can't see it that clearly, but, it's just mostly cloudy, 54, 39. So this guy's just standing outside. Well, when it snows here, the fellow is a black man, and he has a purse. Now, it is definitely a man because he has a full beard. But the man is wearing a purse. That pisses me off because I've got a lot of black friends. I mean, I got a lot of ass-kicking black friends. And I'll tell you what, I've never seen one of them with a purse, okay? But the thing that pissed me off so much about the Weather Channel here is somehow I got on, you can go to upcoming news, videos. You go to their videos, and you can look at this, the latest weather, trending today, health. You want to get pissed off, people? You want to get pissed off? Go to climate. Go to climate on the Weather Channel and watch their videos. Tell me you can get through 3 of those videos without coming unglued. They had like a 9-year-old girl on there pretending to be a meteorologist, going on and on and on about how there won't be any beaches when she gets older because of me, because of my generation. There won't be any beaches for me when I'm older, and you guys don't care. And it's enough to. So look at this. The Simpsons once again don't stray from the subject. So Joe Biden and Kamala Harris's election. Well, that may not have been too crazy. A Cybertruck. Elon Musk, anyone? Let's see. Siegfried and Roy tiger attack. 1993. They, as a joke, they suggested that one of the white tigers beat up on Siegfried and Roy. Now, I can't say that I was a fan, but I did see Siegfried and Roy in Las Vegas, and it was I'm not kidding you. I know it's all done with mirrors. Okay. I know there's strings attached and all that kind of shit, but they really put on an impressive show. I did figure out one of their tricks. They showed a guy floating around, and it's all the smoke and the lighting. The lighting is really big on it, but they showed this guy, and I swear to God, it looked like he was floating, but just for a second, just for a split second, there was a flash of light, and I saw this little black bar going down on the ground. So the guy who was sitting like an Indian, supposedly floating, I could see that he was just on this little bar and they were moving around, but it looked so good. Anyway, they predicted the tiger attack, and son of a gun. I mean, that's sad, but that one really happened. Really freaking happened in 2003. So they predicted it 10 years early. I'm telling you, I hope to God they don't. I hope there's never a Simpsons show on the mystery ship. That's all I can say. That's all I can really say. Malfunctioning voter machines. This episode, Homer keeps trying to vote for Obama, and it keeps going to the opponent. I can't remember who it was back then. It might have been. Anyway, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Smartwatches. Can you believe this? Smartwatches in 1995. I mean, Dick Tracy. I'm sorry. Dick Tracy beat you by 60 years. Sorry. Serving horse meat. Okay. Now, this really happened. This really happened in 2013. They found out that testing revealed that 29% of the animal used in Tesco, which is like a British Costco, their beef it was horse and it was pig. It wasn't beef. It wasn't beef, people. The three-eyed fish, the baby translator, which, man, that's really interesting. The baby translator. I just saw a story on that the other day. This is censoring Michelangelo's David. Now, I went to Italy. I saw the David, and I mean it's freaking enormous. It's gigantic. Truly a work of art. And who cares if he lets it all hang out? Okay, but I guess they made a copy of it and they sent it over to Russia, and it was prominently featured right in like one of the city squares. I don't know if it was St. Petersburg or wherever the hell it was, but the people were having a hard time with it. They wanted to put pants on. They wanted to put pants on the David. Oh, it's like putting arms on Venus de Milo. You know what I mean? I don't know. Some things you just gotta. Now this one is bizarre. This is 2010. See this guy right here? This guy really did win the Nobel Prize in economics. When was it? When did he win it? It doesn't say. It doesn't say, but that's pretty crazy. That is pretty crazy. Lady Gaga and forget that. I don't even, but how about this one? In 1998, they predicted Walt Disney and Fox merging, and it really did happen in 2021. I'm sure I don't need to talk about Trump. In one of the episodes, Lisa becomes the president in the future, and one of the things she complains about is the big mess that President Trump left her. Okay. I mean, you guys all know this stuff. I really do want to get get the phones open, because I'm sure that I missed something. In fact, I'm positive of it. Zoe, what are you doing? What are you doing? Is it strange that I talk to myself in the third person? Hopefully not. All right, what did I miss, people? What did I miss? How many real things came to pass? Are my phones on? My phone on? It always helps when you have the phone on. There it is. I always wonder sometimes why the phone doesn't ring, and it's because I have this little on-off switch, and I never know which side is on and which side is off. But tell me, what kind of predictions do you guys remember? I don't care if it was comic books. I don't care if it was newspapers, TV shows, movies. What do you guys remember that actually came to pass? And did you stop for a second and say, wait a minute, man, I remember that. I remember that in Star Trek or anything. I am curious. I want to know what you guys remember, because surely you remember some good movies that I saw you guys talking about several. Yeah, Getatrix. I agree with you. I don't believe a lot on the web as well. There's so much stuff out there that you can't. No, you can't put stock in it. All right, what are you sending me here, Lynn? What are you sending me? Let's see. Mystery ship. Oh. Mystery ship and movie and TV predictions that came true. I gotta share. Thank you, Lynn Winters. Thank you. Look at that. Mystery ship number 475. Movie and TV predictions that came true. At least the Simpsons aren't involved in that, okay? Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Lynn. Well, welcome aboard the mystery ship. Tell me, what kind of predictions do you remember that were foreshadowed in film or TV? How are you doing this fine evening? Whoa, what's happened? Where are you? Can I hear you?
I'm here.
Okay, I got you now. How are you doing, little lady?
You know who this is?
I believe it is Purple Pixie.
Yeah. Give me 1 second.
Yeah.
I got a wireless earbud in my ear,
Okay.
but I don't hear it as much as I hear it. Let me hook up my other one. Hang on 1 second, okay?
You
Is
got
that
it.
cool?
You got it.
All right.
Wireless earbud. Wireless earbud. Can you imagine? Yeah. I wonder if that was talked about in anything. Actually,
If you'd like to make a call,
well,
please
looks like we lost our friend Purple Pixie. Whoopsie. Something happened when she... There she is. Okay, can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay, that's
I guess
actually,
it
you're a lot...
got hung up.
You're a lot clearer now, so that sounds beautiful.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I like my wireless, but I don't like them that much. And I hate my wired ones, but it's all good. So what is the call-in conversation about tonight?
It is predictions in television, music, movies, comics that actually came true later in life. I believe I can hear the stream running in the background. Is there a chance you could turn that down a little bit?
Yep. Hang on.
I hear something.
There we go.
There
Slow
we
it down.
go. All groovy. So yes, that's what we're talking about. Like the Simpsons were notorious for having shows, and then whatever it was they were talking about, it really happened. I showed an example of a 1960s, 1970s television show, Rowan and Martin's Laugh-In, and in it they had a segment called News of the Future, and as a joke, it was a comedy show. They predicted the fall of the Berlin Wall, and what is so amazing is they actually predicted it to the year, some 29 years in advance. Pretty crazy stuff.
Yeah. that's pretty cool. But honestly, I guess I would have to really sit back and think about it
Yeah.
because I don't fucking know.
Well, I'm so glad you called to tell me that. No, there really are the very first thing I showed tonight, Pixie, was a comic from the.
If you'd like to make a call,
Well-
please hang up and try.
Well, we did. I guess we tried to hang up and call again. Yeah, I mean, the first thing I showed tonight was Dick Tracy. You know, how crazy is that? How crazy is that? Of all the things that I showed tonight, this is the one that got me the most, man. This freaking Sophia chick, I'm sorry, she freaks me the hell out. That is just some, man, that gives me the willies. It really gives me the willies. Well, where is my main screen? I lost my main screen? Okay, here we are. We're getting around. All right. You know, I'm glancing at the time. Holy smokes. My show has disappeared right in front of me. It's disappeared before my very eyes. I just hope maybe I made you raise an eyebrow. Think about just how unusual it is that predictive programming becomes reality. Nuts. It's nuts. There are a number of people. Folks, there are a number of people who are in need of our prayers. And I like to take a moment every Sunday night and ask us to pray for these folks. There is no shortage. There is no shortage. I'll tell you who I would like to lead off with tonight. And honestly, I don't even know where my camera is. Sorry about that. I don't even know where my camera is. There we go. Folks, there is a really raw deal going on with one of our former presidents. The fact that they are seizing his personal properties in a case that was a complete farce to begin with. I mean, imagine if somebody came along and seized your property, saying out of nowhere you owed this giant amount, an amount so big bonding companies couldn't even come up with the wherewithal, and then started seizing your personal assets to cover it. I'm just going to ask that we pray. We pray for our former president that he hangs in there, that justice is blind, but I just pray that justice is eventually done on this case, because it just doesn't feel right. And whatever side of the fence you're on, it's unfair. That could happen to you. That could happen to me. So I'm not prepared for someone to waltz in my front door and tell me you need to clear out. We're seizing your property. That reminds me of the things that our forefathers fought against. You know, the British soldiers used to come over and seize people's properties and throw them out of their houses and house all the soldiers in their houses. That's why we told old Georgie to stick it where the sun doesn't shine. It's kind of funny how quickly it comes back around. Just a mere couple hundred years later, we're right back in the same place we used to be. Please pray for that man. Please pray that justice is served. And pray for our country, people. We are heading in we're in definitely uncharted waters. We are It's a mess. It is a mess. I just pray God will heal our land. If we turn our eyes back to the Lord, I pray God will heal our land. A little closer to home, our dear sister, Artist 61, has asked us to pray for a young woman named Carrie. I've shown her picture a number of times. Folks, this is going to be a long haul for this beautiful young woman with a young family, 3 kids. Please pray. This woman, she needs divine intervention. She needs a miracle. That's really what she needs. She needs God to reach out and just put his loving arms around her and make her right. But our prayers can heal her if you believe it, people. If you believe it, I want you to take that thought and put it out into the ether that this woman, Carrie, will see improvement. And if you believe it, it will happen. It will. Please keep Carrie at the top of your list. There's another young 12-year-old boy. He is the son of one of my fellow construction workers. The construction worker's name is Lalo. I don't know the boy's name, but I do know that he recently had brain surgery in the center of his head. They had to split his skull in half and take half of the skull open to get in to work on him. 12 years old. I just ask that this young man lives to see a long and fruitful life, and that God blesses them and their family, because I know they're worried sick right now. I know they are. I have another coworker who, this guy broke his leg, and I'm not. When I say broke his leg, this is ugly. This is one of the ugliest breaks I have ever seen. There it is. There it is. I think you can see it. Look at that. Look at that big chunk missing out of his lower bone. His name is Gary. In fact, he tuned in yesterday for the first time to D-Live and was hanging out with the sailors. His name over there is Klaus. Would you pray for Gary Klaus? He is. They have done all kinds of repair work on that knee. It just happened. It happened last weekend. It's only been a week, and he's in extreme pain. And I mean, that's a heck of a break. That is a heck of a break. Please pray that Gary regains his the use of his knee. Please pray that God blesses him. And I mean, Gary is the breadwinner for his family. This is a big one. Please keep Gary in your prayers. Speaking of Garys, we have another Gary, a dear friend of this program. His name's Gary Flessner. Gary is somewhere close to home right now. He is out of the hospital, but he's not quite back in his own personal apartment yet. He's just got to get a little bit stronger, get a few more motor skills. I understand that he's moving forward. I mean, this is a tough old bird. Okay, if you look up Tenacious in your Funkin' Wagnalls, there's a picture of Gary's smiling face right there. He will get back in his house, but he needs our prayers, folks. Please pray for our dear brother Gary Flessner that he heals up as quick as possible, regains his motor skills, and can go back to living the independent life that he's known for so long. And please pray that debilitating disease that was eating him alive is gone. He's feeling pretty good about it. That God may bless him would be my request. Dave and Cherie Maddox are long time viewers of this program and dear personal friends. There's a photo of myself and Cherie in Washington, D.C. from January 6th. I rode down to their beautiful mountaintop home there in Georgia. What a gorgeous, gorgeous place. Her husband Dave has been battling cancer, and he's had a little bit of a setback. I mean, Dave is another guy who you're not going to tell Dave no. You're just not. The man, the word isn't in his vocabulary, but folks, even the best swordsman gets a jab now and then. Please pray for both of them. Cherie and Dave Maddox, keep them in your prayers. Keep them close to your heart. I'd like to also add my dear sister Robin Tepfer, Robin Murphy, One Blue Iris. Please pray for Robin, a dear sister. I came this close to getting to meet her on my last trip. The time didn't work out with everything I had going, but man, I'm going to go see her this summer. I am going to see her this summer. She's in Michigan. I need to spend some extended time in the Rust Belt. Michigan and Wisconsin, those are two places I have not explored. So very much looking forward to getting up into that neck of the woods and checking with the sailors up that way. Really looking forward to it. Please keep Robin in your prayers. Our brother Dave Mick is in the house. I saw Dave. Good to see you, Dave. I hope everything is good in your world. As you guys know, Dave has been handed a little thing they call leukemia. And I'll tell you what, this is a courageous guy. He's been through the ringer, and he has bounced back. But this is going to be a lifelong fight for him. It's not a one and done by any stretch of the imagination. Every so often he's going to have to go in and deal with this again. Would you keep our dear brother Dave Mick in your prayers? Would you? I greatly appreciate it. Greatly appreciate it. I'm trying to think of this young lady's name. A long time. I don't have my notes. Unfortunately, I brought the book into the house because I was praying out of the book. Oh, what is her name? I just mentioned her last time. We found out that she has cancer, and I was really surprised. I didn't know anything about it. Son of a gun, so. Oh, I'm going to have to get my book. Bottom line is, folks, you know the sailors who need your prayers. We've got Liz G in Minnesota, gal. They're fighting breast cancer. We got Big Willie and Dolphin 72. These guys are dealing with lung issues. So many of our sailors. Our dear sister Leah Worth, her day in, day out struggles. What I love about this show is how we take care of one another and pray for one another. We had a wonderful bit of news this last week. We prayed for Jo Elaine and her family because the state of Florida stepped in and said she needed to put a new roof on her house, and there was a grant that was available, and she asked us to pray for her. And guess what? She got the grant. That is a huge load off of their plate right now. They still have got many more things to deal with, but God is answering prayers, people. God is answering prayers. You just must believe. And I'm going to leave you with that. We're going to get on out of here, okay? We're going to get out of here. It is always my pleasure to meet with you. Always my pleasure to meet up with you on Sunday nights. We get out just a wee bit early because, it's a school night. It is a school night. Those of you back east, I don't want you staying up all night just for me. You got a life to live, right? Don't you? Pretty sure you do. All right. Let me get our wonderful sounds here. There they are. There they are. This is a manatee in heat. Oh yeah, baby. She's calling you. Willie Fix It. She's calling you. She's calling your name. I want to thank the beautiful people who donated to this show tonight. I'm going to release the scratching over there at Built Foxhole. It is hereby released. Thank you all. Thank you all for your donations, due diligence, Daily Insanity, Kristen Hudson, Prayer Warrior Girl, Girl Patriot, Bong Hit. Thank you guys so much for your support of the show. Over here on the D-Live side, Gloria Paddock and Amethyst Cat, Lieutenant Cooker. You guys are nothing short of amazing. Syllabore and Better Lately, Val Kimber, Groteness, Mad Pogue, Trini the Sis even, and 3 beer men. Look at them. They've all donated lemons to this program. Thank you guys. Thank you so very much. Let me throw a little something in that treasure chest. Let me just throw some love in that treasure chest coming your way right now. So the rumor has it that whoever chats the most during a given program, whoever chats the most, the rumor is that's who wins the most lemons. So I don't know if that rumor holds true, but we're going to find out. We're going to find out because in 22 seconds, the treasure chest will pop open and we'll see. We will see, won't we? I want to thank Peggy Dancer and Gloria and Willie Fix It and XPPV. Thank you for just following us. That's great. May Sammers, thank you. Here it comes, folks. 3, 2, 1. The lucky ones tonight are Peggy Dancer on top of the heat, baby. TL Spud, Bad Zoot, Gloria Paddock, and Lynn Winters. Fantastic. Fan-freaking-tastic. Good for you. Good for you. Peggy Dancer, I don't know if I've ever seen you on the top of the list before. That's worth a ring of the bell, if you ask me. Worth a ring of the bell. I love each and every one of you. Have a wonderful week ahead, people. Your brother Zoe is going to get the heck on out of here. I wish you a wonderful week ahead. Seriously, pray for one another and pray for our country. I love you all. Take care, my friends. We will see you around the bend. May God bless.